This mom took a DNA test only to discover that her children weren't hers. Lydia Fairchild found herself battling hardship after hardship. First, her years-long marriage dissolved right in front of her eyes. Afterwards, she struggled to make ends meet on her own. Worse still, she didn't just have to provide for herself, but her 2 children as well, with another on the way. However, when Fairchild applied for government assistance, they denied her request, all because of a DNA test. The DNA test didn't just stop her from receiving financial aid. The results claimed that Fairchild was not her children's mother. Soon enough, social services tried to take her children away. No one, not even Fairchild's doctor, could figure out what happened. Then, when some astounding information about her past finally shed some light on the mystery, no one could believe the answers they found. In the blink of an eye, Lydia Fairchild's entire life changed. One moment, the 26-year-old found herself happily married to her partner, Jamie Townsend. Then, abruptly, after 2 years of marriage, Townsend said he wanted to separate. Worse still, they had 2 children, which always makes separating harder. They needed to leave their differences apart and come to an agreement that was in the children's best interest. The young mother of 2 found herself in one of the most difficult situations of her life. Yet she felt determined to do anything in her power to try and continue to provide the best for her children. However, Fairchild would soon face an even more daunting challenge, one that would put her and her children in danger. No doubt, the process of separating from someone whom you have spent most of your adult life is hard enough. However, it's even more difficult when there are children in the middle. They need both of their parents because they often have no idea what is happening around them. As they tried to move on and make new lives, the ex-couple encountered the first of many obstacles. Over the course of their separation, Fairchild discovered she was pregnant with a 3rd child. Now in an even more complicated situation, Fairchild needed to take extra steps to ensure her and her children's livelihood. As Fairchild found her way in a life that no longer included Townsend, she struggled to make ends meet. Financial issues started to pile up, worrying the mother. Previously, with their 2 incomes combined, they could make it to the end of the month. However, without her ex, Fairchild's salary did not stretch far enough. She needed to find an urgent solution to feed her children. Like any mother who truly cares about her children, Fairchild would do anything she needed to provide for them. So, the mother turned to the government looking for financial assistance. Unfortunately, she would come to regret this decision sooner rather than later. In just a matter of weeks, Fairchild found herself a newly single mother of 2, with another on the way. As any parent can tell you, raising 1 is hard, raising 2 is even harder, and raising 3 at the same time is almost impossible. So, Fairchild had no time to find extra work. However, as a caring mother, she would do whatever she needed to do. So, Fairchild went to a social services office and picked up an application for assistance. Fairchild filled out the application, never thinking there could be a reason for them to deny her aid. However, there were a few more steps she needed to complete before the government could approve Fairchild's application, including a DNA test. Fairchild never saw the storm coming towards her. As a part of the application, the government required for Fairchild and her ex-partner to take a DNA test. The DNA test would prove that both parents were, in fact, the parents of the children. It is a simple, standard way to stop those who would try and cheat the system. Fairchild had no problem taking the test since she was confident there would be no issues. After taking the DNA test, Fairchild felt confident that she and her children would finally receive the urgent aid they needed. However, her destiny held a different scenario, one far more difficult than she envisioned. Fairchild would require all the strength possible within herself to fight for her children, as any mother would. When the moment came for both of the parents to submit their DNA tests, they did so without question. Why wouldn't they? They knew the children belonged to them. After all, Fairchild gave birth to them. Before submitting the application for financial assistance, they both delivered their samples. From there, Fairchild simply waited for the request to go through. Townsend's lab results came back proving he was the biological children's father without question. However, something bizarre was happening with Fairchild's lab results. When she got the results back, she could not find the words to describe her horror. This kicked off the biggest battle of her entire life. Things started getting strange when the government asked Fairchild for an extra procedure one Townsend did not have to go through. At first, she assumed that it possibly had to do with the fact that she'd be receiving the money, not him. So, needing financial aid, Fairchild agreed to the extra step. The extra step was a face-to-face meeting at the Washington State Prosecutor's office. In retrospect, Fairchild said, this should have set off some alarm bells. However, while she had no idea what the meeting would entail, the mother went anyway. Soon, she'd find out the real reason for it all. Fairchild arrived at the prosecutor's office assuming this would finally be the last step in the process. She believed that a social worker would interview her about her needs and responsibilities as a parent. Fairchild felt happy to answer these questions, as she had nothing to hide. Soon, the mother thought, her children would receive the help they needed. However, she was completely wrong. Worse still, Fairchild understood her interview was far from normal immediately upon entering the office. The representative seemed angry, and other officials stood in the office with him. As soon as she entered, they ordered her to sit down and shut the door. Immediately after they closed the door, the government agents began interrogating Lydia Fairchild. Their questions bewildered the mother. They asked her who she was, where she lived, and many other questions she had already answered on the form. Even stranger, they asked very few questions about her children. The agents seemed solely focused on Fairchild. Meanwhile, she had no idea why they kept treating her like a criminal. Did they know something she didn't? What was the real reason for this meeting? Unfortunately, the agents would not answer any questions until she answered theirs. So, the mother tried to remain calm and figure out what they truly wanted. Over time, the Department of Social Services eventually confirmed what Fairchild already thought. They did not believe a single word on her application. However, the mother repeated over and over again the truth, just as she had on the application. Fairchild could not fathom why they didn't believe her. The representative stalled her with questions in a hostile tone, making her feel sick and confused. Fairchild had no idea why they kept disbelieving her as, to her knowledge, she hadn't done anything wrong. However, they suspected she had tried to fool the system in the attempt to grab some money for herself. Fairchild couldn't wrap her head around the reason why they believed such a thing. Then, she finally learned the reason for their interrogation. After what seemed like forever, the social services workers explained what they had on Lydia Fairchild. Townsend's DNA test went through without issues, proving his parentage to the children. However, in an insane twist, the DNA test results did not show Fairchild as the children's biological mother. Fairchild felt her whole world turning upside down. She kept wondering, over and over again, how the test could turn out that way. The mother quickly thought it must be a false test or some sort of switch-up. After all, she gave birth to the children. Fairchild knew she stood on the side of truth, regardless of what the DNA test said. The social workers found themselves in an incredibly difficult position. On the one hand, Lydia Fairchild didn't seem like the type to game the system and appeared a caring, loving parent. On the other hand, they could not deny the DNA test results sitting in front of them. Fairchild kept asking them over and over if they were sure the lab hadn't made a mistake. They explained that a DNA test simply doesn't lie, especially not the type they use. As far as they could see, Fairchild wasn't the mother of those children. The mother couldn't believe them. Fairchild had held them in her womb for months, and no one could tell her otherwise. However, science doesn't lie. Fairchild found herself in a waking nightmare. Within a few minutes, Fairchild found herself in an even worse position. When she applied, she just needed some assistance. However, now, all because of a DNA test, not only would Fairchild not get the aid, but she found herself questioning her own sanity. Still, Fairchild is a strong woman, and she resolved herself to fighting this injustice all the way to the top if needed. She had no doubt her beautiful children were hers. Fairchild was determined to prove the DNA test wrong, once and for all. But how could she? It would become a task harder than anyone imagined. As you might imagine, the Department of Social Services did not think Fairchild worked alone. After the DNA test results, they brought in Jamie Townsend, also interrogating him. They accused him of having children with another woman. Then, they accused both of them of working together to get money from the government. Despite their differences, Townsend knew that Fairchild did not lie on her application, regardless of what the DNA test said. After all, they both had been in the delivery room when their children were born. So, the only thing left to do was to bring in an expert. After all this time, Fairchild hoped her personal doctor could provide some answers. Fairchild turned to the only person also present during her deliveries, her obstetrician. She felt confident he could help her clarify this whole misunderstanding. Fortunately, Dr. Leonard Dreisbach is an incredibly good person. He felt compelled to help this mother, once again. At first, Dr. Dreisbach could not believe how the agents treated Fairchild. He told the mother that he had been in his profession long enough to be able to discern when a woman is giving birth in front of his eyes. However, although the entire thing seemed too weird to be true, Fairchild needed all the help she could get. So, she asked Dr. Dreisbach to speak on her behalf, so social services would finally believe her. Thankfully, Dr. Dreisbach came to the rescue. He agreed to testify on Fairchild's behalf since he actually delivered her children to the world. He promised he would stand in front of the judge to support her history and claim to the two children if it ever should come to that. They both hoped it would not. Unfortunately, talk of a judge brought up even more questions. Fairchild would need a lawyer to challenge the results of the DNA test. Furthermore, if she could not prove their parentage in court, they faced an awful reality, one where the government would take her children away from her. Fairchild found herself looking for a lawyer who would trust her enough to take on her strange case. At first, it seemed like none would go up against a DNA test. Then, she found Alan Tyndall, a lawyer willing to take on her case, no matter how unusual. Still, Tyndall admitted that, in the beginning, he felt a little skeptical. After all, the Department of Social Services DNA tests rarely came out wrong. Nonetheless, Tyndall agreed to take on Fairchild's case. He started by taking a very close look at Fairchild's life, confirming that every bit of her application rang true. Then, Tyndall set up a session with Fairchild, where he could ask any questions he needed to. Despite the sensitivity of the subject, Tyndall did his job, asking the hard questions. He asked if the children belonged to a sister or brother. No, Fairchild told him. Tyndall got even more personal. Did Townsend have an affair? Once again, no. Tyndall even asked her if she had abducted the children, trying to pass them as her own. However, Fairchild insisted they were, in fact, hers. Tyndall could see honesty in her eyes and believed her. However, what happened with the DNA test? Fairchild had science against her, yet nothing else seemed to support the DNA test results. In the end, Fairchild held on to the truth. Despite all the evidence to the contrary, social services continued to label Fairchild a liar and a fraud. Now, she had 2 children, carried another in her womb, and desperately needed help. Even with her lawyer and doctor on her side, Fairchild felt like the whole world stood against her. Unfortunately, the worst was still to come. We can't imagine the pain and hurt Fairchild felt during this time. To make matters worse, one day she came home to Supina, informing her of her court case date and time. Fairchild could lose her children if she didn't find a way to convince the judge of her direct motherhood. After receiving the subpoena, the truth really hit Lydia Fairchild. She could lose her children, possibly forever. A lot rode on her day in court. However, Fairchild did find a silver lining. In the end, all they had was a DNA test. On the other hand, Fairchild had her doctor, her lawyer, and her ex, who still stood by her side in the case. Still, Fairchild couldn't help feeling like she might lose the most important thing in the world to her. So, she called her family for support. While talking to them, Fairchild burst into tears, terrified that her case was not airtight against the DNA test results. When she received the subpoena, the whole situation became too much for Fairchild to bear. Furthermore, she was also pregnant, making it even harder to control her emotion. As Fairchild ate dinner with her children every night, she could not help bursting into tears. The idea of a world without them filled her with fear and heartbreak. Whenever she started crying, Fairchild's children would rush to hold and comfort her. This made the whole situation even harder. Fairchild tried to keep them away from the reality that threatened to tear apart their family. She built a shield to protect them, as any other mother would have. Like any other mother, Fairchild felt terrified of losing the thing that mattered the most to her, her children. Worse still, nothing in the world seemed to make the situation any better. After all this time, the reality of losing her children had become too much to bear. It wasn't just the stress of the case, however. Constantly having to defend herself to everyone outside of her inner circle became excruciating and tiring for Fairchild. Furthermore, she was due to give birth to her 3rd child, and with its arrival, the authorities would have even more questions. Fairchild didn't think she could handle another round of interrogations, especially right after delivering a child. Through this entire journey, Lydia Fairchild carried her 3rd baby. Now, the day had arrived for Fairchild to give birth. This should have been one of the happiest days of her entire life. Instead, it was one of the worst. Doctors, police officers, and even a special investigation team filled the room. Her dream had turned into a living nightmare. The judge handling the case ordered that they administer a new DNA test in order to check the newborn as well. It was the most uncomfortable environment for a young mother to deliver a newborn. Despite all the witnesses to the birth, the newborn's DNA test results indicated, once again, that Fairchild wasn't the genetic mother. However, it was now clear to both parties something was off. Fairchild simply couldn't understand how this incredibly bizarre situation continued to happen. Thankfully, now the tide seemed to turn in her favor, ever so slightly. The social services investigative team witnessed the birth, yet still, the DNA test results came back negative, so they ordered further testing to determine the source of these inconsistencies. Still, paranoia consumed her and Fairchild feared the worst. This time, doctors went beyond the standard blood DNA test. They also took hair, skin, and even organ tissue samples to compare. Fairchild waited patiently for the news. Unfortunately, it turned out to be just as bad as everything else. All the tests came back negative. Fairchild was running out of time and resources. However, one family member offered a flicker of hope. Days after the birth of Fairchild's third child, the search for answers continued. Then, doctors had an idea. They asked Fairchild's mother to provide a sample for a DNA test. Perhaps, if they could find a link to Fairchild's mother's, they could determine why her test continually came back negative. To Fairchild's relief, her mother DNA test results offered a breakthrough in the case. The test found a genetic link connecting the grandmother and Fairchild's kids. Even though this actually didn't prove Fairchild was, in fact, their mother, it gave them hope to continue fighting for the truth. The grandmother's DNA test helped prove that whoever the mother was shouldn't be far away from Fairchild herself. However, this didn't disprove one of the authorities' leading theories, that the children belonged to an unknown sibling of Fairchild's. Unfortunately, this is not an uncommon con in the social services world. Still, the results gave Fairchild the boost of hope she needed. Now, Fairchild just needed to discover the reason why her test came back negative. Thankfully, her lawyer was about to stumble across a medical finding that could change the course of the investigation. Finally, a light appeared at the end of the tunnel. In the struggle to solve the great mystery of the DNA test, Tyndall decided to do some medical research. He wasn't really sure what to look for, so the lawyer started searching for any cases that sounded similar to his clients. At first, the search seemed overwhelming, but Tyndall began to make his way through it. Then, he discovered something incredible. Tyndall came across a medical paper that held many similarities to Fairchild's case. Even better, many connected with the case were still alive. So he decided to reach out and find further information. What Tyndall found could be the key to helping Lydia Fairchild keep her children. However, this was an extremely rare condition that would require more tests to confirm. Tyndall found an unusual story from across the country, in Boston. After years, doctors had solved a strange medical anomaly. Karen Keegan was a 52-year-old woman in need of a kidney transplant. As such, she underwent genetic testing to find the donor that matched the best. However, the test showed no genetic link between Keegan and her two children. Like Fairchild, doctors continually tested Keegan, trying to find the reason for the discrepancy. After several years of studying samples from different parts of her body, they made an incredible medical discovery, one they ultimately published in the New England Journal of Medicine. However, Tyndall did not want to get Fairchild's hopes up, so he decided to conduct some tests first, before coming to her with his findings. Unfortunately, while Tyndall worked, things got worse for Fairchild. Unfortunately, Fairchild's case started to gain the media's attention. Defrauding the public, especially through social serves, is a horrible thing to be accused of. Some newspapers began to call her out, saying she was a criminal who deserved to be punished. Some others claimed she kidnapped her children from her former partner Townsend, trying to manipulate the government to support herself at the expense of innocent children. However, they were all about to find out the real reason why DNA testing showed no connection between them. The discovery would stun everybody, and they would regret assuming those things about the young mother. Karen Keegan's holds so much similarity to Fairchild's it might be a perfect match to explain why the DNA test showed no link between her and her children. If Tyndall's suspicions turned out to be true, it would help solve the confusion surrounding Fairchild's parentage claims. Tyndall spoke with Karen to get more details about her medical curiosity before reaching out to Fairchild with a lead to something. Still, he kept his cards close to his chest. Fairchild, incredibly exhausted by everything she had gone through, decided she could do one last test. A simple cervical screening test would prove Tyndall's theory right or wrong. If right, she'd get her life back. If wrong, Fairchild's last chance would slip through their fingers. Fairchild hoped this would be the final test she would need to undergo before proving her children were, in fact, hers. While she felt prepared to do anything to keep her children, they were running out of options. Fairchild needed this to work. After the round of testing from all part of her body, there still was no link to connect her as the biological mother of her children. However, the answer to this medical mystery lies so deep inside her that doctors never imagined looking there. Soon, everyone would have the answer they so desperately craved. Only one last piece of the puzzle piece remained. Fairchild had everything on her side, except for the DNA test. She proved that her mother shared a genetic link with her children and had multiple witnesses that could testify to their birth. However, it wasn't enough. Fairchild needed to prove, genetically, that the children were hers. Thankfully, Fairchild finally got what she wanted. For the first time, the cervical DNA test results demonstrated an undeniable genetic link to her children. It was a glorious moment, and she felt relief knowing she and the kids would be fine. However, Fairchild obviously wanted an explanation for the previous test results. What happened and why? The answer would stun everyone. The reason why the DNA test results hadn't shown a genetic link in Fairchild and Keegan cases was an extremely rare one. Both of them had a genetic syndrome only documented in humans a handful of times, called chimerism. In fact, only 40 known cases, in all of history, exists. It is one of the rarest conditions in the entire world. In short, chimerism means that both women have more than one genome providing genetical material to their bodies. Chimerism is developed in the womb, which explains why neither women ever knew anything about it. The more Fairchild learned about her condition, the more everything started to make sense. Chimerisms can form in both humans and animals, in the same way. They began as twins during their gestation in the womb. Then, at some point, during the early stages, one of the twins is absorbed by the other. However, the remaining cells of the absorbed twin don't leave the mother's body. Instead, they merge with those of the surviving twin. This happens before the mother-to-be is aware of the multiple pregnancies, so they don't really know it was supposed to be twins. Thus, the children grow up completely oblivious to their condition. This was the key to understand Fairchild's case, yet she wasn't sure if it would be enough for the court. The cells of the previous long-lost twin did not dissipate. Instead, they remain in Fairchild, creating two types of DNIs in just one body. This is incredibly hard to test for, as doctors don't know here one DNA will express itself. For instance, in Karen Keegan's case, a nodule with her twin DNA was found in her thyroids which matched the DNA of her two children. Now, the secret was out, and Fairchild had nothing to be afraid of. Like she said from the beginning, she wasn't a liar, and now she had proof. Thankfully, everything turned out for the best, and they were finally able to get a break from all the craziness. Best of all, no one would take Fairchild's children away from her. Furthermore, the genetic test of Keegan's thyroid shown a completed different DNA from other parts of her body such as her hair, blood among other cells. In Fairchild's case, her twin DNA had amassed in her womb, which is why her children had not shown as her own in the past tests. Fairchild was ready to head back to the court. With the information she held in her hands, there would be no doubt she was telling them the truth. Hopefully, this nightmare would end as soon as possible, and no one would ever question her parentage to the kids again. Fairchild had been waiting for 16 months in vain, wondering what kind of sick joke was this where they declared the children she had given birth not genetically her own. Finally, the legal case against Fairchild was dismissed. The judge gave her an apology for having doubts about her honesty in the past. However, Fairchild had gone through the most terrible months of her life, so an apology wouldn't really solve her financial problems. It must have been difficult for her since she was put in a terrible position she did not deserve. It was time for the state to give this woman a little peace and quiet. In the end, Fairchild was able to prove everybody she was being honest all along. After the state dropped the charges against her, they said she would be granted with the aid she had requested in order to support herself and her 3 children who bear the DNA of the lost twin, nonetheless, hers. To make everything more exciting, Fairchild and her former partner decided to give their relationship one more try. Not only the children were going to be provided with the aid they so needed, but this issue had helped their parents to be closer together again and rely on one another. The term chimerism comes from a mythological Greek monster named the Chimera. The creature is composed of a goat, a lion, and a serpent. It was supposed to bring good fortune to those who witness it. However, in Fairchild's case, it didn't demonstrate any marking and was only detectable by genetic testing. While some chimeras go their whole life without knowing, others exhibit very interesting features. For instance, some chimeras have one eye one color and the other another. Similarly, when chimerism is expressed in cats, they may have a beautiful set of 2 mixing furs. In some animals, like mice, the features can be even more extreme. Science is growing by the minute and is still seeking a further understanding of this unique phenomenon. In 2017, some remarkable scientists at the Salk Institute, located in San Jose, California, successfully created a chimera. They edited the DNA of a pig embryo and deleted one of its organs to replace it with human stem cells. The fetus grew with a human organ, and scientists hope one day that they would be able to take this study to the next level. As for Fairchild, thanks to one special DNA test, the stress is out of the way, and she is now one of the most exceptional humans in the world. However, she still maintains that the most important to happen was that she got to keep her children. Now her 3 children, along with her newest 4th baby, can all grow up together. For that, we are all thankful.